Hi there, welcome to our beginner's guide for the Smock Stick V8 kit. First up, we're going to go over what's inside the box. So you've got your mod or your battery, you've got your tank, a spare coil. Underneath here, you've also got a vape pen to put around the tank to help protect the glass, a manual, a warranty card, some quick start guide, filling instructions, some spare seals, an adapter for using coils, I'll explain that in a moment, and a charging cable. You can charge up the device using the charge port, which can be found on the back of the device there, just right at the top. So first we'll go over filling the device. Now, this device is a high wattage device, so it's best suited for high VG liquids. So anything that's at the very minimum 50% VG, but ideally 70% VG or above. So we're going to be using some 70 VG liquid here. Now to fill the device, it's very simple. At the top here, the top section just swings open like that. And then there's a fill hole right on the side there. Not the one in the middle, but the one on the side. We'll just grab a bottle, open it up, and just fill it down the side there until we've filled up the tank. There we go. Once you're done with that, you just take that side bit again, slide it and sort of clip it back in so it's nice and secure. That's you filled up. Now we're going to leave that for 10 minutes for the liquid to soak in. Right, that's been about 10 minutes, so it should be good and soaked in now. So in terms of turning on the device and adjusting it, there's only one bit of adjustment that you need to do, and that's right up here. So right up at the top here, you'll see a little slot that you can slide back and forth. Now this is where you can control the airflow. You can close it a little bit to make it feel a little bit tighter, make it a little bit warmer, or you can open it up to make it feel more airy and more cool. You just want to make sure that it's not fully closed off, at least have it open a little bit. Most people probably want it at least halfway open, if not fully open for this kind of device. So once you've got that set to the way you kind of like it, the way it feels good, to turn it on, all you do is click this button 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll blink a few times, and then that's you ready to puff. So you just hold the button and inhale. Perfect. When you're not using the device, when you've got it put away in a pocket or a bag or something, same thing again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll lock the device and make sure that it's not getting pressed and it's not firing accidentally without you realizing. Next up, we're going to go over changing the coil. So why do you need to change the coil? Basically, the coil is this little silver bit in the center of the tank here. And this is what's actually doing all the work. This is what's turning the liquid into a vapor. And just due to the way that this works, over time, deposits will kind of build up on the material inside itself, and eventually it'll need to be replaced. It is a consumable part of the device. When do you need to do that? Well, it varies based on person to person and your usage patterns and also the sweetness of the liquid that you use. But roughly between 5 to 14 days is a good sort of estimate for most people. How will you know when you need to change it? Well, a couple of things usually. Either the flavor will be far reduced from normal, so it'll taste kind of dull or bland. It might also taste kind of burnt. You may also, when you're inhaling, feel it sort of bubbling or gurgling a little bit. Or there may even be a little bit of liquid spitting back at you when you're trying to inhale. So any of those things is usually a good indicator that it's time to change your coil. So let's go over how to actually change your coil. Now, first things first, you want to make sure that your tank is completely empty. If not, you want to do this over a sink or a bit of kitchen towel just to make sure you don't make a mess. So first thing you want to do is grab the tank, which is from the base of this section here where the little slot is, and unscrew it counterclockwise, just like before, and that'll come apart. Next up, we actually want to take the tank apart, so we want to remove the base. So this section here, underneath the little orange section there, you want to unscrew that. And these two pieces should separate like that. Now, sometimes the coil might get stuck, well, not get stuck, but sometimes the coil may still be attached to the top part. Sometimes it may still be attached to the bottom part. It just kind of depends on luck of the draw a little bit with the threads. So if that's the case, you can just unscrew it from inside there. Just kind of depends, but this is camera attached to the bottom. So what we're going to do is take this, which is the coil, and we're going to unscrew it the opposite way. There we go. That's that now done. We'll get rid of that and we'll go on to the next one. So here's our new coil here. We're just going to replace it the same way we just removed it. And you just want to screw that back in there, make sure it's nice and tight. And we'll take the glass and we will screw that back on there. Once again, make sure everything's nice and sort of finger tight. Don't over crank it, just so it's nice and secure. And then that's you good to go. Next up, you would open up the top again, fill, because it's a fresh coil, leave it for 10 minutes, screw it back onto the device, make sure you've got your airflow set the way you like it, and that's you good to go. Now there is one other thing about this device which is a little bit different. So this adapter that was in the box that I mentioned earlier, this is for changing coils after the first two. So the first two that you get, the one that's pre-installed and the spare one, will both be these large kind of bulky coils that you'll see. But after you've used those two, when you buy more from ourselves, they'll actually look like this, quite a lot smaller than the original ones there. And they seem like a different shape. And what we need to do is we use this adapter here to make the coil the same length as the original ones. So I would actually recommend for this adapter installing it into the tank instead of on each coil. So if we take the tank apart like this, and then we can just carefully pop the glass off. And now this little adapter here, the section with the black seal at the top, can just screw into here like that. Once that's screwed in there, then these smaller coils that you'll be buying from us from now on will fit in. So we'll take the old one out like this. Grab the new smaller coil, squeeze that in like so. Replace the glass on carefully. And there you go. Now that new smaller coil fits inside there. Perfect. That's just the way this one works. So that's everything. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to speak to one of our expert staff members in store or contact us online. Thanks.